In a small village far away there lived a little boy named Sammy. Sammy was a kind and beloved child, but he was suffering from a strange problem, which was a lot of useless talk. He was talking non-stop about trivial, worthless things, which made others feel upset and annoyed. This problem began to bother Sammy's parents a lot. They tried to repeatedly. They corrected his behavior, but to no avail. They feared that this behavior would affect their son's future and his relationships with others. One night, while the parents were sitting talking about this problem, a neighbor advised them to visit the village sage, who was known for his wisdom and acumen in solving problems. The parents decided to take the neighbor's advice, and the next morning they took Sammy with them and headed to Al-Hakim's house. When they arrived at Al-Hakim's house, the old man received them with open arms and a wide smile. Al-Hakim was a calm and simple person, but his words exuded wisdom and intelligence. The parents said to Al-Hakim, "Mr. Al-Hakim, we are suffering from a big problem with our son Sammy, and he does not stop about talking without benefit, and we are very concerned about this situation and its impact on his future." The wise man looked at Sammy with tender eyes and said to him, "My little son, did you know that talking is one of the greatest blessings that God has given to man, but we must learn how to use it wisely, because a lot of talking without benefit is a waste of time, and he annoys the others." Then the wise man took out a small piece of charcoal and said to Sammy, "This is a piece of charcoal, and I will give it to you. Whenever you speak unhelpful words, put a mark on the wall with this piece, and at the end of the day we will see how many marks you put." Sammy was enthusiastic about this idea and began to speak as usual, but whenever he spoke unhelpful words, Mufid was making marks on the wall with a piece of charcoal. At first the marks were few, but soon they began to increase and increase significantly. When it was time to sleep, Sammy looked at the wall and was surprised by the amount of black marks he had made. The wall was full of marks, and he felt extremely ashamed of himself. He did not realize the extent of his words, Al-Mufid, until he saw those signs. The next day, Sammy returned to Al-Hakim, and Al-Hakim was waiting for him with a tender smile. The Al-Hakim said, "My little son, did you see how many black marks were placed on the wall? This mark represents every useless word I spoke, and how many of them are." Then Al-Hakim took out a small piece of salt and said, "For Sammy, today I will give you this piece of salt. Every time you spoke something useful and wise, a white mark would be lost on the wall with this piece." Sammy was enthusiastic about this idea as well, and he began trying to speak wisely and usefully. At first, the white marks were very few, but they began to increase little by little as Sammy learned how to choose his words carefully. At the end of the day, Sammy looked at the wall and saw the beautiful white marks interspersed with the black marks. He felt happy and satisfied with himself because he realized that he could control his words and make them more useful to the wise. For Sammy, "Look, my son, these white marks represent every useful and wise word you spoke. The more these marks increase, the greater your wisdom and ability to control your speech and express what you want in a useful way." Since that day, Sammy began to focus on speaking wisely and usefully, and his frivolous and useless words decreased greatly. He learned the importance of useful and wise speech and how it can gain the respect of others and help him communicate better. Al-Hakim was proud of Sammy, and he progressed and began to invite him often. He went home to teach him other lessons in life, such as patience, humility, and listening well to others. He would explain to him the importance of choosing words carefully, thinking before speaking, and respecting the opinions of others.